People, the headlines, the issues impacting you, all on This Week in Cincinnati on 9 on Your Side.
And welcome back to This Week in Cincinnati. I'm Craig McKee. A new effort is launching in Newport to improve the schools there. The city, Newport Schools, and ReNewport has just launched the ReNewport Blue Ribbon Educational Task Force to get that done. 9 on Your Side was there when the task force held its first meeting this month. You can see it here. The first step is to get an overall look at the school system from as many angles as possible, from what happens in the classroom to what happens in the administration to actually what happens between the district and the overall community. ReNewport says creating a strong school system is necessary for a strong city.
If you don't have a good school system, if the city goes by the way of the school system, people leave, they take their kids elsewhere, and you start to become a dying city.
Now, the group's goal is to start having changes in place by the start of the next school year, just over a year from now. Joining us right now, though, in studio, in person, the person you just saw there in the soundbite, in fact, the president of ReNewport, Gordon Henry. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
What was there a tipping point? Was there something that really started this? Did you see a decline in something in the school or school district that said, all right, we need to group together and create this task force to maybe tackle this before it gets any worse?
I don't think we saw there was one big action item that started the process for us. It was a goal of ours set out from the beginning in our quality of life plan that ReNewport put together.
Okay.
We finally saw that we had the ability and the steam and momentum to take action. We had seen on our Facebook page a lot of talk about the education system and realized the importance of engaging such in order to help our city grow, but also the students in the system. So that's kind of where it started.
So you have this first meeting, this first gathering. Obviously, when you start talking about the schools and possible changes in the school system or the district or what have you, parents' ears kind of perk up, like, all right, what's going on? Taxpayers' ears perk up. What are you doing? Was there anything that came out of that first meeting
Yeah, I think the first meeting was the initial where we're at, what problems do we see, what strengths, how do we bring a positive light of the good things that are happening in the school systems, but also to breaking down each level and where assistance is needed, whether it's administration, whether it's students, teachers, and parents. So right now, there are no definitive things placed. With it being the first meeting, we're kind of leaving that to our task force to make that happen and determine what they would like to see, and we have full faith in them going forward with that.
So right now, if you had to put up a graph, you couldn't put a bunch of bubbles to say, all right, these are issues and areas we really need to fix, and these are areas that are okay.
Yeah, I think the big one that we saw a lot in the community that gets discussed a lot or gets talked about are the test scores. As we know, we have seen that the test scores are low. We definitely want to improve them, but we also realize as a community and schools, there are a lot of different indicators to show how to make a successful student in a school system, and the test scores are only one point of that, and looking at how do we make those other things work as well.
It's one thing to come together with a plan and say, all right, our task force, we've been working for a year, everything's good, this is the data that we've collected, it's all in written form in a nice little binder. You can put that on a shelf or you can execute it. Are there funds available? Are there resources available, or either in the current budget or future budgets for the school district to say, yes, we're going to be able to implement this and make it happen?
Yeah, so we have a unique situation what we're looking at. So we brought together the city and the school system on top of our ReNewport organization in the sense of everyone putting their own skin in the game. So it won't be dependent on one organization or one group to bring that funding in or to orchestrate said plan that is put into place. And we're hoping that continues to be the case down the line. ReNewport is mostly volunteer-based and led, so it will not look like, as we know currently, that it will cost a lot of funds going forward, and then we will explore those options and what that looks like for each entity down the line.
If somebody in the Newport community didn't hear about the first meeting, didn't hear about the task force, where can they go to get more information about ReNewport?
Yeah, so we have a couple of different ReNewport pages. So we have a ReNewport community discussion group where the community has a voice to know what's going on, and that's more so the city as a whole, not just our education efforts.
Right.
And then we have our ReNewport, that's our actual business organization page where we discuss the different events and where the meetings are going on.
All right, Gordon Henry, keep us updated as the task force moves forward.
Absolutely. It's very important for me to make that happen as a proud Newport alumni to see the success in our schools.